Today's video is made possible by JBS Farms soaps, and today's feature is Sedona Sands Aloe soap. So there's aloe in here, and it is a unisex soap, a little more masculine. There's the woodiness, there's a little tiny bit of sweetness, but oh, it's it's a nice one. And I did it in my new wave mold, and I mixed the sands with the white, and there's no sand in it, but anyway, it smells delicious. And you know, it's wonderful for your man, or if you like more of a woodsy, there's no patchouli, but you know, kind of a, there might be a hint of that, but anyway, it's a rich scent. And if scent is too much for you, because I know a lot of you can't take scent, I do have the Unfragranced Soap, and I made a pretty pattern on it, and it's just the glycerin base. It foams up nicely, and it lasts a long time. All my bases, I only have 3 different bright bases. I have a clear, a white, and a goat's milk, although once in a while I'll do aloe or hemp. But anyway, this is just a good plain bar that you can enjoy without scent. Now let's get on with our story today. I, as you know, belong to Facebook Fragrance Friends, and several times people will have a contest, or send this fellow has sent me a postcard and I'll send you samples. And he had a contest, and I didn't really read it thoroughly, and apparently anybody that commented got samples. And as a surprise, in the mailbox the other day, a nice, well-presented box came, and this is what was in it. And it had this card, Dame Perfumery, Scottsdale, established 2014, Modern American Perfumery, exhilarating new world fragrances. And he wrote on the back, "Hi Susan, here's your Facebook Fragrance Friends prize with my new Desert Rose and Verbena, Freesia, and Musk. So very beautiful. Enjoy. Should it strike your fancy?" And he's offering me a 10% discount. Best, Jeffrey Dame. So that was very generous, and if you're watching, thank you ever so much. The first that I opened was a little card, and this says the same thing, Modern American Perfumery, exhilarating new world fragrances. Colognes which are clean, subtle, and interesting, like the man who wears them. Calm, cool, and collected. And this one is called Herb Man, and I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to give it to my son-in-law, who lives in Scottsdale, because he loves, oh, now that's a man's one that I really like. It's cleaner, it's not, I don't know what the note is I get in most men's perfumes or fragrances, and there's a little bit of that to make it masculine, but that is a beautiful scent. I do get a little bit of herb, not you know, nothing's overwhelming in it. That was a nice, I'm going to put this little tissue down. He had a tissue with the brown and the blue. I've never seen samples come in such a beautiful presentation. Why I really entered were for 2 fragrances, and I was so happy he sent me both. They came in a little glassine envelope and a card, and that is his dad's art, his father's art, painted that. And this one is going to be Black Flower Mexican Vanilla, and it has Dame Perfumery on the back and their phone number, which I'll list below. But this is Black Flower Mexican Vanilla, and generous sample, and I get straight sweet vanilla. I read on Facebook Fragrance Friends, somebody else that got it, they smelled nutmeg, and there's probably a little spice. My nose is medium. I can't pick out tiny little nuances, but Jeffrey Dame has worked at a lot of fragrance companies, and now has began his own. So he has a lot of experience and knows. And one of the interesting things he said, you know, because it's in Facebook that, you know, all these conversations, was that just a tiny shift in notes can either make or break a fragrance. It can either make it awful or make it spectacular. And those are my words, not his, but the general. Okay, the next glassine had the Desert Rose, also a drawing from his father. And on the back, these are nice cardstock. And another big, generous sample. This is like a damask rose, a little bit of chypre. I'm probably saying that even wrong, but I love it. And when I first put it on, I love it on me. And then it changes and gets very powdery on me. So, darn it, you know, your own body chemistry changes things. And on other people, it probably stays this gorgeous rose. It's just deep and interesting. And I'm so disappointed in myself. And the same thing with the vanilla on me. It went away. It didn't stay that beautiful vanilla. The other people that have commented on the Facebook Fragrance Friends, it stays. So everyone's different. That's why it's wonderful to get samples so you can tell what you like. And then he, like I said, he had the, what do you call it? The Freesia, is it written in here? Yeah, Verbena, Freesia, and Musk. And you know me, I love Musk. And I like Freesia. I don't know what the note Verbena is, so I thought this will be really interesting. And it turns out I like it best. The others were so touted about. He didn't have a card made up, you know, painted like his father had done, but he has a card in there. And, I mean, very thoughtful man. I mean, every little detail. It almost, probably because of the Verbena that I don't understand, could be unisex. But the Freesia kind of lightens it up. And the Musk always makes things beautiful. And so I think of the three for women, that's my favorite. So I wanted to give him a good plug because he was so sweet to send me those. And thank you so much, Jeffrey. Now come the glasses. And I was, we get the Sunday Times and the Pacific Northwest, February 1st, came this insert in the newspaper that the Pacific Northwest is always in, and it says Northwest Essence, local indie perfumers mix art and business. And I thought this subject, I'm not going to tout them individually, their company, like I did him, because I didn't get samples, but it talks about the independent perfumers. And this is just interesting picture. She's got all her bottles of essences in the back to mix and smell and create. And a lot of them, or a lot of these started out making incense, but I've written a few things here, or underlined a few things so that I could remember. It's her actual home. Exotic smells wrap around you like a stranger's embrace. I just love the way people can speak. Not me. For sure, there's nothing ordinary about scent compositions that bring to mind the smell of fresh ink on paper. Kinky black leather, a basket of green cinnamon tree leaves rather than cinnamon bark, or a misty northwest rainforest strung with moss. As you know, scent brings immediately to mind memories, and I'm going to skip around because this is subjects coming up. An odor can immediately evoke the details and mood of an old experience, as if no time had passed at all. I mean, you smell something and you instantly comes to mind things that you haven't thought about in years. Perfumers insist that their most popular fragrances are ones that remind customers not just of things past, but their parents, grandparents in particular. So many times, my Lily of the Valley, so people say, oh, that was my grandmother. She wore that all the time. That was her signature fragrance. And so it's fun to help bring back good memories. There was this one fellow, Aaron Way, is a nose of one of the perfumeries. And nose is an expression that refers to a person whose smell sense is acute enough to identify and pick apart the myriad elements that combine to make aromas most of us only experience as one thing, if at all. That's what happens to me. I want to smell all the different things in that vanilla, but my nose is just kind of ordinary. I can't, back in the day in the 70s when I was assistant cosmetic buyer, we also bought perfume, and I was able to identify every perfume that we sold just by smell, Aramis and things like that, that are gone, intimate, but I don't know that we sold intimate, but Revlon Ultima 2 was a big line then, and Charles of the Ritz. Oh gosh, fragrance, Facebook fragrance friends reminded me, somebody had done this buy on eBay, and they got all these scents, vintage scents, and one was called Ritz. Oh, that brought memories. I had forgotten all about it. It came in a silver cylindrical bottle, and it only came out at Christmas time, and it was a sharp, gorgeous scent, but it's gone. We're still talking about this Aaron way. He can smell things that other people can't smell. That's true. People with noses, there are not a lot of them. Estee Lauder was one with a nose, and that was the first time I'd heard that expression. Oh, what else is in here? Let's see. Just beautiful pictures of close-ups of their bottles. One lady says her sense of smell is so exact, she can tell that a man is smoking a Cohiba, I hope I pronounced that right, a Cohiba cigar from a block away. She says she can smell textures too. Put cactus close to her face and its physical prickliness will tickle her imagination. Your nose is kind of the last real touch point in the natural world. It's like you're being touched by nature. Is the ultimate luxury. Our sight doesn't touch what we see. We do feel with our fingers what we see, but smell gets internalized, and those molecules interact or vibrate and physically make us have that sense of, oh, that's very sweet, or that's, and we use expressions like our taste because they're so connected. If we can't smell, we don't taste as well. But our taste is only sweet, sour, bitter, there's another one, and umami, and I'm pronouncing that wrong, is another one too. And that's kind of a meaty flavor, but sweet, sour, bitter, oh, you all are hollering at me what the other one is, but anyway. But because we can smell, which is very close to our taste, you know, right here in our head, we get nuances like, oh, that's artichoke, or oh, that's onion, and you know, so we get various nuances. And so perfume is just so interesting. In the old days, they would burn incense to get rid of scents that weren't so good in the house and things. And I want to thank again Jeffrey Dame. Thank you so much for my samples. I hope you get lots of sales from Facebook Fragrance Friends, and I hope I give a little shout out for you and maybe get people's curiosity to check you out. So until next time, thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.